Another issue to consider is how often do we run the scheduler? The more frequently we run it, the more CPU time is wasted on running the scheduler versus running application processes. So another way to ask the same question is, how long should a process run? The longer we run a process, the less frequently we are invoking the scheduler to execute. Consider this scenario in which we are running processes for amount of time TP, and the scheduler takes some amount of time tsketch to execute. If we want to understand how well the CPU was utilized, we have to divide the total processing time that was performed during an interval. So during this interval, that was 2 times TP, and then divide that by the total duration of the interval. So the total duration of the interval is 2 times TP plus 2 times the scheduling interval. If the processing time and the scheduling time are equal, as in this picture, that means that only 50% of the CPU time is spent on useful work. Half of the time during this interval, the CPU was basically doing systems processing work, scheduling, and that time should be considered overhead. Let's now look at the second interval, where the processing time TP is much larger than the scheduling time. And let's assume that it's actually 10 times the scheduling time, not to scale. So if we work out the math here, we will find out that almost 91% of the CPU time was spent on actually doing useful work. So we're doing much better in this interval in terms of the efficiency of the CPU, how much of it is used for useful application processing versus in this previous time. In these examples, TP refers to the time that's allocated to a process that has been scheduled to run, and so the time that that process can consume on the CPU. We refer to this time as the time slice. As you can see, there are a lot of decisions and trade-offs that we must make when we're considering how to design a scheduler. Some of these include deciding what are appropriate time slice values, for instance, or deciding what would be good metrics that are useful when the scheduler is choosing what's the next process it should run. I will discuss these design issues in a later lesson, but for now you need to be aware that some decisions need to be made.